Now, I know I'm not the only dude who's experienced some like intense food cravings. I mean, the type of cravings that make you feel like you're not even in control of what your body does. Like no matter what you do, you cannot stop yourself from moving toward whatever it is that you're craving. Whether that means 2 a.m, you try to fight with yourself not to go in the cupboard, or you even have gone as far as getting in your car and driving to go pick up some sugar because you have nothing in the crib. We've all experienced that shit. And for me personally, I don't like it, right? I value freedom. I don't like that feeling. And in today's video, I'm going to give you some insight and some practical tools that's going to help you get your control back from those fucking intense cravings that are probably destroying your health. We're going to dig into what's happening on a psychological and physiological level. I'm going to talk about the emotional aspects of this and how this is like a hormonal thing, right? This is built into us. But anyway, why should you listen to me? This is what I looked like in 2012. I was depressed. I had anxiety. I had no confidence. I honestly wasn't the type of man that I was proud of. And then one day I woke up and I decided to take control of my life. I didn't want to be depressed and fat anymore. I wanted to build my fucking confidence. So I stopped acting like a pussy and I went on this journey of self-mastery where I learned what was going on in my head and in my heart that was creating these situations in my life that made me fat, that made me unconfident, that made me fucking broke. And I did something about it. And on this channel, I give away all the jewels. I give away all the insights. I give you all the tools so that you can take control of your life and get the body of your dreams and level up in every area of your life. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, lock in, shout out to the Brix squad. I love you guys, all right? All right, so when we experience these cravings, there's 2 levels of what's going on here. There is the emotional aspect and then there's the physiological aspect. Okay, before we can start talking about solutions, I think it's gonna be important for you to understand what's happening. Like what is actually happening when these intense cravings come over you. I found the perfect graphic that's gonna help me illustrate that, and it's called the voracious cycle, right? That's what this cycle is that I'm gonna break down is called. The first thing that happens normally is some sort of emotional trigger, whether it's you have a fight with your partner, whether your boss is stressing you out at work, something intense is happening and you're feeling uncomfortable. So that's the first thing. The next thing is your brain. For most of us, our brains default to, okay, I'm feeling shitty. What's the fastest way for me to not feel shitty anymore? Our brains normally go to food. That's what my brain does, right? And most of the times it's some sort of sugary or fried food, highly palatable food. So that's the next step, right? Next, your brain sees food as an option to kind of fix your mood. The next thing, you eat the food and there's a dopamine release, right? Which gives you this temporary sensation of satisfaction, or it lifts your mood, or it makes you feel some sort of positive emotion while you're in the middle of this negative moment. You get flooded with all of these good feeling chemicals that for the moment is making you feel a little bit better. It's making you feel like, no, I'm not feeling this negative emotion anymore. I'm not depressed anymore. I'm not fucking aggravated or sad because my partner just cheated, or whatever the case may be. The rush of those chemicals is giving you the momentary satisfaction. And what this experience does, which brings us to the next part of the cycle, this encourages you. That dopamine, that good feeling you felt when you gave into the craving, it reinforced that behavior, that choice as something that makes you feel good. So your brain is now being programmed to feel the negative emotion and then reach for the ice cream. That feeling is what reinforces that choice. And then what happens is afterwards, you feel shitty because you physically feel bad because you overate sugar. The problem that you were trying to fix is still there, which creates this cycle happening over and over again, right? Because now you're triggered again. And this is how we end up gaining 50, 75, 150 pounds. That's what I did. I gained 150 pounds after high school. Understanding what is happening here, you have to take this level of insight and now create a system that's going to intercept a part of this cycle. And this is where we can get into the solutions. All right, before we get into that part of the video, I am currently doing free coaching calls. Now you have to qualify for these calls. This call isn't just for anyone who's gonna waste my time or waste their time. I am looking to speak to and support a person who is at a very particular part of their journey where they're ready to commit and take action, because I wanna support people who are actually gonna put the fucking work in, all right? So if that's you, you're ready to deal with your own tough emotions and you're willing to have an uncomfortable conversation, because because I'm going to be extremely candid with you. If that is you, I want you to sign up for a free coaching call. The link is in the description down below. Go ahead and take advantage of that. Okay, so now we understand the voracious cycle, but the question is, how do we control ourselves in that moment? Because it's easier said than done. And there's a process to get into the place where you can actually stop it from happening. And you got to honor that process. But the first part of that process is identifying your trigger. Awareness is your first major step towards getting this under control. Identifying your triggers, and I'm a big proponent of journaling. Journaling has been the tool that I've used to gain self-awareness and insight and to learn the things about myself that will help me, systematically help me change my behavior, to change the way I respond in these emotional moments. Identify your trigger. When you feel it, you notice, oh shit, I'm triggered. I'm having an emotional eating craving. Let me write down what's going on. And in my We Are God's group coaching program, I provide my clients with the exact prompts. You have to write this stuff down. So that's the first thing. Identify your triggers, write them down, find some way to document what's happening. That way, over time, you can start to pick up on patterns. Now, what you have to do next is practice delaying your response. Delaying gratification, right? Training your mind not to immediately give in to all of the cravings or all of the whims of your mind and your emotions. You have to train that ability into yourself. This can look like this. Oh shit, I'm triggered. I want to eat ice cream. I have ice cream in the freezer. I'm going to wait 20 minutes before I give into this. And I'm going to sit in the discomfort of this craving for 20 minutes and I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to probably try to distract myself, maybe call a friend, watch some TV, get some work done. Oh, that's my go-to. Distract yourself with work. And I say, okay, 20 minutes. If I still have this craving in 20 minutes, then I'll give in. That's step one. And if you're able to do that, right? Boom, you identified it. I'm aware. I identified the trigger. Next, I'm delaying my response to said trigger. 20 minutes. That's a win. Those are the first 2 wins. And you practice that. Every single time you feel the emotion come up, you practice delaying your response. Maybe you start to delay it 30 minutes and then you delay it an hour and then 2 hours, right? You push it out. And what you're doing is you're training your mind to delay the expectation of the gratification that it's seeking. And eventually you start to break up your addiction to that feeling, that dopamine, because you start to develop, the mental grit, the mental fortitude that you need to not give in to the craving every time. But this is a process that takes time. Notice that I said delay. I want you to deflect. I want you to delay. I don't want you to deny. I don't want you to feel like, oh, no, I feel this craving. No, you can't have it. You can't tell yourself that, because all that's going to do is make the craving stronger. You're delaying it. You're deflecting it. Eventually, you'll get to the place where you can deny yourself. But in the beginning, that's not a good idea. It's just going to make the craving stronger. Another thing you can do, once you delay it and you do decide to give into the craving, I want you to do so mindfully. A lot of the times when we're indulging on these emotional cravings, we're not even present with the experience of eating the food. We don't even fucking enjoy it because we're just scarfing that shit down. It's more so about, just getting the food into your belly and not really being present with what's happening. Because when you eat mindfully, when you're paying attention, you're not watching TV, you're not scrolling social media, you're here with your bowl of ice cream. You're taking it in with all of your senses. It's very likely that you'll eat less of it. All right. So mindful eating is the next step. And that again is a practice as well. So the last tip that I kind of want to talk about is reaching out for help. Become a part of a community of folks that are dealing with the same shit you're dealing with. And then there's people in that group, in that support system, that are able to help you as well. People who have navigated the issue that you are currently handling. Join some sort of community, some sort of coaching program. I have a group coaching program. It's called the We Are God's group coaching program, and we are having phenomenal results. We are a band of brothers. You feel what I'm saying? We share our wins, we share our losses, we keep each other accountable. There's a daily weigh-in. There's a message board community. We do 2 Zoom calls every single week. This is the level of support that I wish I had in the beginning of my journey. I would not have experienced so many mental and emotional roadblocks if I had a community like the one that we've created here. So if you want some more information about the We Are God's group coaching program, click the link in the description. And also, if you're interested in the program and you want to talk to me about it, sign up for a free coaching call and we can discuss if this is a right fit for you. Anyway, squad, I hope that was valuable. If you have any video suggestions, put them in the comment section below. And remember, the body that you want is owned by a higher version of yourself. So evolve. Peace.